Hi, everybody. I wanted to encourage anyone who is in this space of rebuilding and entering or transitioning to a harvest season. If God has asked you to rebuild with Him, it might be scary and you might be feeling some resistance, maybe even opposition from others, because it looks crazy and it looks impossible. Your situation looks dead, and it might seem as though you're rebuilding on top of your rubble, which is exactly what glorifies God. Much like Nehemiah 4, where the enemies were opposing the rebuilding of the wall in Jerusalem to protect the city. There was great pressure against them, and Nehemiah relied heavily on God's strength, and he reminded his army, his team that was helping him to rebuild. He reminded them, remember who you're fighting for. So I want to encourage you all to read Nehemiah 4 as you're rebuilding, and to remember what you're fighting for. Remember that you're fighting for your sons, your daughters, your husband, your wife, your family, your home. I don't know what you all are going through, but whatever you're rebuilding with God. And if you're feeling discouraged and unsure, you're afraid to take that step because maybe it didn't work in the past, that you've been here, it looks familiar, you've been here before. But remember, when it didn't work the last time, God was preparing you. He was preparing you for this time. Everything that you went through wasn't for nothing. Your character developed. Your faith increased. Your maturity increased. Your intimacy with God increased. You have a track record with God now. You know that He's your safety. You know that He's your center. He's your cornerstone. And I know it's scary. It's scary because we're thinking about the what ifs, or we're already thinking about the other shoe that's going to drop. All we have to do is stand firm in the battlefield. All we have to do is armor up, believe, and take that step of faith. He's going to make sure that our harvest is abundant. This time your soil is going to be fertile. This time you're going to grow something. You have the ultimate gardener watering your plants, watering your fields. And they're going to be new plants, new fields growing, ones you didn't even ask for. So remember, when you're rebuilding, like Nehemiah, you're rebuilding a wall on top of old rubble, on top of your mess, to secure that city, right? Whatever that means, however this is ministering to you, whatever this means to you, that wall is security. That wall is your finances. That wall is your relationships, your family, your marriage. Whatever it is that God tore down or that you tore down. Well, God's telling you it's time to rebuild. It's time to tell your heart to beat again. It's time for that new beginning. I know you're exhausted, but it's not going to be the same again, because this time you have experience with God. And that means that He's protecting you. That means that He's going to walk you down that narrow path. He's going to tell you which way to go. All He needs for you to do is have faith. So be encouraged, especially if you're feeling that peace right now and that transition. That's definitely a gift from God. Read John 14:27. That'll give you some peace if that is what you're feeling. Give you some language, help you understand it, and just be a good steward over it.